Your ex thinks you no longer care. And that changes everything. It's fascinating to see what can happen when you seem completely indifferent to them. After a breakup, your ex's psychology is often more complex than you think. They may appear strong and confident in their decision. But deep down, very few people truly reach a point of complete certainty. In the initial moments after a breakup, your ex might be caught up in feelings of self-defense, convincing themselves that they made the right choice. However, as you begin to withdraw, showing no interest or effort to influence them, you create a void. And it is within this void that they start questioning, did I really make the right decision? Do they still care about me? This is the magic of silence and letting go. When you stop showing any interest, their defenses gradually fade. This allows the doubts they've been suppressing to resurface. They might recall the good moments or begin to wonder if their decision was a mistake. And if you're seeking a chance to reconcile, those doubts become your strongest ally. Without keeping you waiting, I'll reveal the first thing they think about you after the breakup. 1. Use the no contact rule. When you apply the no contact rule, the first thing that happens is your ex might think you no longer care about them. While this might seem like a barrier, it's actually an effective psychological strategy because it triggers natural doubts within them. After any breakup, it's rare for someone to be 100% certain about their decision. We often rely on emotions, instincts, or temporary reasoning, which means every decision carries a degree of inner conflict. Your ex is no exception. They may have left believing it was the best choice for them, but somewhere in their mind, questions like, did I make a mistake? Am I losing something valuable? Still linger. The no contact rule serves as a tool to keep those doubts alive and even amplify them. On the other hand, if you chase after them post-breakup, begging, pleading, or trying to maintain contact, you unintentionally push them into a defensive state. They start justifying their decision to break up and may see you as an opponent trying to undermine their choice. This strengthens their loyalty to their decision, making you a source of tension rather than a solution. In that defensive state, they no longer reflect on doubts or faults in the relationship. Instead, they focus on validating the breakup. But when you maintain distance, without chasing or pleading, you interrupt this psychological cycle. They no longer have to run away from you or defend their decision. This creates a pause, making them look back and wonder, why aren't they trying to hold on? Do they no longer care? Have I lost them forever? This is the moment you aim to create, not to manipulate or hurt them, but to shift the psychological dynamics. They move from running away to questioning, re-evaluating, and reassessing your value. While this doesn't mean they'll instantly want to reconcile, it does alter their motivation. They're no longer sprinting away from you. At the very least, they've slowed down, perhaps even stopped, and started looking back. They're reflecting, doing exactly what you want, thinking about you, the relationship, and whether they truly want to lose you forever. 2. Appearing indifferent to spark curiosity. When you appear indifferent, your attractiveness can unexpectedly increase. This stems from a fundamental psychological principle: assumptions. At the time of the breakup, your ex likely formed a specific image of you, one that, subconsciously or not, downgraded your appeal. Their decision to leave might have been tied to a belief that you no longer met their expectations or emotional standards. They might not say it outright, but deep down, They believed they deserved something better or more suited to them. Think about it, we often desire what we believe we deserve. When an X says, "You deserve someone better," it's rarely true. If they genuinely thought you deserved better, they'd feel like they'd hit the jackpot and would hold onto you tightly. Instead, their decision to break up signals that they believe they can find someone more attractive or compatible. This belief applies not only to mismatched relationships but even in cases of more serious issues like toxicity, abuse, or fundamental differences. Regardless of the reasons, leaving reflects one thing: they think their life will be better without you and that they deserve something better. But when you act indifferent, you flip this narrative entirely. Your indifference disrupts their assumption that you'll always be there, waiting, willing to do anything to reconcile. When you don't chase, beg, or try to prove anything, you stop acting from a position of weakness. Subconsciously, this forces them to rethink. Why is indifference so compelling? Because it defies their expectations. Someone who feels less desirable often overcompensates, pleading, begging, or doing whatever it takes to gain attention. But when you don't, you send a message: "I don't need you to feel complete." This not only surprises them but also triggers a sense of loss and fear that they may have misjudged you. They may begin recalling the early days of dating when you made them feel excited and captivated. They may start wondering, did I underestimate them? Do others see their worth and might take them from me? These thoughts may not surface immediately but can grow over time, especially in the absence of any signals from you. This doesn't mean every ex will respond the same way. But for many, your silence and indifference will lead to a whirlwind of thoughts. As time passes, these thoughts deepen. Did I make a mistake? Did I lose something I can never get back? Ultimately, indifference not only helps you regain emotional control but also forces your ex to confront their assumptions. Sometimes, it even makes them reconsider your value in their life. 3. Regaining your dignity by letting go. In the painful aftermath of a breakup, many people act on raw emotions, regardless of the consequences. Grand gestures, lengthy texts, unanswered gifts, or even showing up unannounced at an ex's house, all stem from a desperate desire to cling to what's been lost. Yet these actions not only prove futile but often lead to deep regret later on. I wish I hadn't done that. This is a sentiment many admit when looking back. Such impulsive moments can damage your dignity, making you feel smaller in the eyes of your ex and, more importantly, in your own. Maintaining distance is not just about protecting yourself from further embarrassment or pain but also about rebuilding emotional and mental appeal. Remember, if you and your ex share mutual friends, your impulsive actions may quickly become topics of conversation. Imagine, when you fail to maintain distance and pursue them desperately. Your ex, no longer loyal to you, may freely discuss or even ridicule your behavior. This not only diminishes your attractiveness but also erodes your self-respect and the respect others have for you. That's not a situation you want to face. Keeping your dignity isn't just about winning back your ex. It's a way of honoring yourself, for your family, your friends, and your future. Dignity is not something you trade just to have someone return. Even in moments of intense heartbreak, when you feel love matters above all else, preserving your dignity remains essential. It helps you recover and lays the foundation for healthier relationships in the future. Why is dignity so crucial? Because undignified actions never yield positive results. Someone uncertain about you won't be convinced to return just because you've sacrificed your dignity. On the contrary, such out-of-control behavior pushes them further away, reinforcing the idea that the breakup was the right decision. That's when you realize that losing your dignity only hurts you. Maintaining dignity isn't about pretending not to care but about reshaping your thoughts and actions. It requires discipline and honesty with yourself. Think of it this way: there are things you once loved, like a Kit Kat bar, for instance, but if you know indulging in it too much harms your body, you choose to avoid it. Not because you're pretending but because you recognize your health is more important than temporary satisfaction. It's not giving up but prioritizing what's better for you. Similarly, when you act with dignity and resist emotional impulses, you're practicing self-discipline. You're being honest with yourself, protecting your worth, and putting yourself above fleeting emotions. This not only benefits you but can also change how your ex perceives you. They'll no longer see you as desperate but as a strong, self-respecting individual who won't easily be defeated. Hold on to your dignity, not to please anyone else, but to honor yourself. In the end, your value doesn't depend on anyone else but you. 4. Healing through letting go. Let's start with a simple psychological principle: actions often precede emotions. You might have heard the phrase, "Fake it until you make it." But this isn't about pretending, it's about actively choosing how to respond based on what you know is right, rather than being led by fleeting emotions. This isn't self-deception, it's a way of realigning your life with authenticity and purpose. You're affirming, just because I feel pain now doesn't mean I have to act on it. This is the highest form of honesty you can offer yourself, acknowledging the pain but refusing to let it control you. You act with the awareness that what you do today won't just affect how you feel in 30 minutes but also how you'll feel in 3 weeks, 3 months, or even further into the future. From this self-awareness, you gradually learn to prioritize yourself above the pain. Acting with dignity not only preserves your image but also facilitates genuine healing. When you choose not to reach out, not to chase, you're doing something vital, creating space for both you and your ex to breathe. This isn't an act of coldness or indifference but an acceptance that you can't control someone else's heart, and that you shouldn't try to. More importantly, you begin to prove to yourself, I can do this. No matter how painful it is. You can maintain distance. You start to sense an inner strength, the strength to resist chasing someone. The strength to stand firm in the face of heartbreak. From this, a small yet powerful sense of pride will emerge. I thought I couldn't, but I did. Choosing dignity also helps break the negative cycle of chasing, a cycle that not only erodes your image in others' eyes but also wounds you deeply. By refusing to engage, you send a vital message to both yourself and your ex: I don't need to beg for love. I know my worth. Over time, you'll notice your emotions beginning to shift. The initial pain will gradually give way to peace. And that peace will become the foundation for rebuilding yourself. 5. Reversing the dynamic when you stop chasing. Reflect on your past relationship for a moment. Were you always the one initiating? The one texting first, suggesting meetups, and showing affection without receiving an equal response? If so, your relationship may have become unbalanced, a one-sided dynamic where you gave more than you received. And no one wants a relationship like that. When you step back and stop caring, you're doing something pivotal, reversing the dynamic in the relationship. You're no longer the one trying to hold everything together. You're sending a powerful message: I don't need to fight to keep someone who doesn't want to stay. This forces your ex to reevaluate your place in their life. For many, a breakup comes with the expectation of a strong emotional reaction from the other person. They expect to see pain, desperation, or even pleas to reconcile. But when you don't react as they anticipated, when you remain calm, composed, and unshaken by the breakup, it surprises and sometimes confuses them. They start to wonder, why don't they need me as much as I thought? Human psychology is often drawn to mystery and strength. When you stop chasing, you not only regain control but also spark curiosity in your ex. They might begin to think, did I misjudge this person? Have I lost something valuable that I can't easily get back? But remember this, don't do this to manipulate. If your ex walked away hoping you would fight for them and prove your worth, that's not love. That's manipulation and, in some cases, a sign of narcissism. Such behavior not only disrespects you but also diminishes their own dignity. You shouldn't and don't need to play such games. Respect yourself. By stopping the chase, you're reaffirming your value. You're telling the world, and your ex, I deserve a fair relationship where I am valued and loved the right way. When you stop caring about your ex, it's not just about changing how they see you, it's also a vital journey back to yourself. You're not doing this to manipulate or to get them back but to reclaim your inner strength and self-respect, which may have been wounded after the breakup. This is the time to rediscover your self-worth. Learn to love yourself. And realize that you don't need to prove anything to anyone. Remember, not caring doesn't mean denying your emotions. You don't have to pretend you're okay if you're not. But you can choose to act with dignity and honesty. Let your silence, maturity, and resilience in the face of pain speak for themselves. Ultimately, when your ex believes you no longer care, they will be forced to confront the void you've left behind. But more importantly, you will have used that void to heal, rebuild, and create the life you deserve. Whether they come back or not no longer matters. What matters is that you've found yourself again, stronger, more confident, and ready to move forward. Believe that the best is yet to come.